Hey guys, what is going on? It's Justin from Vonix Entertainment, and welcome to this week's Xur location video. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys where Xur is, and then I'm going to address some things about the upcoming DLC that's coming out in a little under 2 weeks. So first of all, Xur is on Earth. He's over in the Winding Cove area on Earth. So you can go past here. More than likely, you might get a public event to spawn in right here. As that happens quite often. But you're just going to want to go up to where the Fallen are up here and jump up to where they are. Go ahead and take them out if you want, or you can climb up this side, or you can climb up the other side. I'm going to climb up the other side because it's a little easier. Ooh, and I found a chest. But you're just going to climb up here, just kind of making your jumps. And Xur's up here at the top. So Xur this week is selling for his exotics the ISO Chronicle Engram. Remember, that's weighed more towards an exotic you don't already have on that character. The Young Amakar Spine for the Hunter. Now this was honestly one of my favorite ones in Destiny 1. Now in Destiny 2 it's not as good. It's still pretty nice to have in Crucible and things like that. But it's not where I would use it all the time. All it does is it increases your trip mine grenade duration and marks enemies damaged by the blast. The reason I don't use this anymore is because trip mines have been nerfed tremendously in Destiny 2. In Destiny 1, I remember the nerf that you could no longer stick people with your trip mine. And that really kind of took it down because you'll hit an enemy and you'll just kind of like tumble in front of them and then land on the ground. And by the time it lands on the ground and goes off, the enemy's already gone away from it. But increased trip mine duration. Trip mines are great for if you're just playing it on a wall. It's going to stay there for quite a bit longer, and then it's going to mark enemies damaged by the blast, so you can see them through walls and everything. That's why this shines best in Crucible and not so much in PvE. With the Titan class, he's selling the Mask of the Quiet One. Now this grants melee, grenade, and class ability energy when damaged. So whatever damage you take, it's going to give you some energy back in your melee, grenade, and your barrier all at the same time. And then void ability kills that you do grant health regeneration. So whenever you use void weapons or you're using void ability, actually no, this just says void ability kills. So this has to be done with the Sentinel class. If you're using the Sentinel class and you get kills with your void abilities, such as your melee or grenade, you're going to get some health regeneration to start up immediately, which is nice to have. This shines best in just about everything. It's better in PvE, in my opinion, but it also does really well in PvP. For the Warlocks, Wings of the Sacred Dawn, this is a PvE only exotic. If you use this in PvP, you are going to get torn to shreds, because its little bit of an exotic is when Dawnblade is equipped, which means you have to be a Dawnblade Warlock. Aiming down your weapon sights while mid-air suspends you there for a short period of time, meaning you're just going to float in the air, and it's going to be this big bursts of just bright light around you, so you're very visible. People know you're floating in the air. And precision hits extend this duration, meaning you're going to float there better. This is best for PvE, and that's because you can stand above enemies, you can float above them, you don't have to be touching ground if it's somewhere that you're going to take damage from, and you can use this to help break your fall if you are out of jump. Whenever you're floating down towards the ground, if you're out of jump, you can aim down your weapon sights and it'll kind of slow you down until you hover. So that'll help break your fall a little bit so you don't die whenever you hit the ground from a long distance. If you use this in PvP, you are going to get torn away. This is a PvE only exotic. For Xur's weapon of the week this week, he's selling the Telesto. Now the Telesto is honestly a really good exotic. It uses projectiles that attach and detonate with a delayed void blast, meaning that this basically has no damage fall off. So whenever you use the Telesto, you're not going to have a damage fall off for it, but it's going to still it's not going to have a damage fall off for the explosion, but it's going to have a damage fall off for whenever it hits the target. And then it has the Harbinger's Pulse. Multi-kills with this weapon immediately reload the equipped kinetic and energy weapons from your reserves. This is something that the Telesto really shines in Destiny 2. And then he's selling 3 coins. Don't use that. It's not good. Alright, so real quick, now that we have Xur out of the way for Destiny 2, I'm going to go ahead and kind of go around, but I'm going to be talking to you guys about the new DLC that's happening. So DLC 2 is about, I believe it's called like Warmind or something like that. It's going to be about Rasputin, and it's going to take place on Mars. Now, DLC 2 drops in, let's see, DLC 2 drops in 11 days. So that's a little under 2 weeks before it comes out. I really highly recommend that you guys go ahead and get a little bit ready for whenever it happens. And what I mean by ready is DLC 2, it's going to take place on Mars. I recommend getting a lot of like the coins that you would turn into vendors to get better gear. And that'll just kind of help you get to the max level a little bit quicker. And I do believe we're going to go up in level as we should. I also do believe and really hope that we actually go to a different raid location. As you guys know right now, the raids we have all take place on the kind of dreadnought like ship where the Leviathan is. If I go over to my map real quick, up here in the top right corner, up here at the Nessus orbit, where the Leviathan is, that's where all the raids are right now. And the raids just seem to be repetitive over and over again. And I'm not a big fan of it just being repetitive all the time. I really hope that we move out of this area, even though it looks like it's probably going to be right here, and we might just move right here again. I really hope the raid actually takes place on Mars. If you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, I highly recommend seeing the trailer. I'll post a link down in the description below on where you can go to view the trailer for Destiny, for the new DLC. It's going to take place on Mars. It uses a lot of Hive. There's going to be a lot of Hive in this new DLC from what I've seen. And honestly, I hope it doesn't stick with how Destiny 2 is already going. A lot of you out there might like Destiny 2 a lot more than Destiny 1, but in my opinion, Destiny 1 was more of a fun game to play than Destiny 2 is. Now, that could be because there's so many other options now instead of just Destiny on the new gen consoles, but in the same time, Destiny 2 didn't have the grind that Destiny 1 did. Destiny 2, the raids are not really raids. They don't feel like raids. They don't feel like you just going in and trying over and over, and they don't have the diversity of a raid. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look, the best raid in Destiny 1 was Vault Glass. It's a very easy raid to do now because our light level's so high if you do the even regular hard raid. If you guys have Destiny 1 and you haven't tried Vault Glass yet, I highly recommend going and trying it. It's so much of a more complete raid than anything else we've had. Also, Wrath of the Machines was a great raid to have. But in Destiny 2, the raids just haven't been there, and the raids are what I really like to see. But we will be getting a new planet out here for Mars. It might go over here. Who really knows? But the Mars landscape, it looks like it's going to be frozen. We're going to be facing a lot of Hive, as I said. And there's going to be a new public event for Mars, which kind of is like the it looks like it's going to be somewhat like the Vex Spire public event. That's what it kind of looks like it's going to be, but except it's going to be Hive this time around. I hope it goes well. Not exactly sure how it's going to go, but I hope it goes a lot better than Destiny 2 has been going right now. So that's just my hopes on everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below. Comment on what you think about the Destiny DLC 2. What you think it's gonna all have, and just what are your thoughts on it. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Also, if you're looking for the Destiny 1.0 location video, there is a link down in the description below on where you can go to view that as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.